As I'm dealing with my mess here, okay, I really enjoy my new tripod. So whoever was thankful and grateful to my video to thank me like that with this tripod, it was what I needed. And those are your part numbers that you couldn't see on those boxes from yesterday's video. Hopefully I'll get to upload this one tonight, but that's your front and your rear diff seals on those old Ford trucks, because I don't know if I started something locally. I just saw a gray one running around. There's a beautiful, there's a beautiful pewter colored truck, and there's another one. It's green and silver. Um, my bad habit. Somebody really went through a lot of lengths with that green and silver one. It is gorgeous. Even the pewter one's nice, and they have aftermarket wheels and tires and brand new chrome bumpers. So this is what we came up with while I tell you what happened to the auto parts industry. Now, this was just scrap metal out on my scrap pile. I ground it all down and I welded that up. As you can see, you put a 1/2 inch bolt through there, or in my case, all thread. Over there, that blue box over there is a bunch of custom pullers I've made. Um, if you think I'm going to go out and spend $100 every time I need a puller when you don't have the money, and a lot of people don't have the money. So that gets me into my story of what did happen to the professional auto parts counter. Locally, we had like Circle S, we had Allentown Foreign Car, we had a couple very professional run where people actually they retired from working on cars is how they got their job behind the counter. You get to be my age and your body hurts a little more, like Schmitty, the guy actually that made that welded that nut there. That takes a special type of weld, by the way. I've noticed that, because if you put a lot of torque on something, and you always put your nut on the reverse side. So let's get back to on topic, okay? What happened to professionalism in the auto parts industry was, then along came the big Chinese chains. They had an idea. They're imploding our economy. People are retiring, getting out early while they can still get something. And they took advantage of those people, offering them dog shit wages, for one. Which sometimes maybe I should clean up my videos and my language, but really the wages at an auto parts counter, they always were in the gutter. They were more of a retirement job for people. You know, you could collect your retirement. Maybe you weren't of Social Security age yet back in the day, but they were still knowledgeable people. You know, in an AutoZone, they come up with guys that really know cars. Well, now they got people that really know how to screw up your frickin' day or your automobile. Okay? Because I try to, in my videos, I try to encourage people like you to go out and work on your own car, take the bull by the horns, because if not, you're going to get stuck with a really big bill. Or like if you're like me, you're older, you're sick or whatever. I still try to do what I can do. Okay, getting behind in bills like this, having seen what I see, it's not that they can't hire anybody. They have a criteria of people they don't have to pay a lot of money. You know, some of these folks, their girlfriends live on welfare. They get all kinds of benefits and food. They don't have to worry about paying the bills that the modern guy born into this country does. He's saddled with everything. So that's really what happened to the professional auto counter. Is it's really a simple thing. Is the auto parts counter was made for retired people in the aftermarket. Now the dealerships, they have professional parts people, and believe me, some of those guys are a real pile of monkey nuts lately too. They're just not your average parts person, and a lot of it requires the last 8 digits of your VIN number. So get prepared for that. You know, there's a lot of younger people that piped up to me on my channel. You know, hey, I'm glad for the information, because they don't know why some of this information is being needed or asked for, and I'm glad to contribute to them to say yes, you need the last 8 of the VIN. And a lot of those dealers, they feed that stuff to Carfax. What parts have been replaced on the car. I just recently got a modern day Carfax, and it was pretty detailed. Uh, Somebody actually bought parts that the car was from the Berwick area, and they went to Philadelphia, I guess, evidently to buy parts for the car, which was pretty amazing. But it was on the Carfax that this, that, and the other thing was replaced. but there was no origins of a shop listed. So it was probably the owner himself that replaced the stuff. And kudos. That's what my videos are about. Hey, you go do that sort of stuff. But that's a lot of times too. They track information even at the dealer. What parts you replaced? Is it the same vehicle you're working on? Sometimes that actually gives them an inkling to whether you have another problem. Now, that gets me back to like those guys with the Silverado trucks and the security lights coming on, or you got lights coming off and on the dashboard. A lot of times that's related to your charging system, your battery. Okay? So if you go to a modern day parts counter, they don't have guys like me behind that counter that could probably tell you when you have those, I call them ghost codes in the computer, or those ghost lights coming on. You know, a lot of times you flip on your AC or whatever, and that's sometimes when you get one of those ghost codes. Car's still running, it seems to be running okay, but somehow that computer is sensing that that thing isn't okay, and it's probably more than likely related to your charging system. Could be a belt, could be a tensioner pulley, could be something like that. So you're not going to get that when you have somebody that barely speaks or comprehends English, or barely has a third grade education. Those are the things that happen to the modern day auto parts industry, and that's why they made professionals. But the unfortunate thing is, when I take my resume to somebody, as I was saying, they look at my resume and they see A and P and they see master's degree. Oh, and then maybe they watch my videos, or I have books of my trucks that I built, my Roadrunner, my pickups, and I open that book and, we just can't pay you the money you're looking for. Oh, geez. Go figure. Okay? And that's happening to half of America. That guy that owns that garage down the street, he's probably not going to be there that much longer, especially with what's going on. Okay? And it's not him. The guys like us, we're far from lazy. It is not us. It is the industry as a whole, the Chinese selective, that we're going to pay nothing for an employee, and our computers are going to do all the thinking for them. I got news for the Chinese and your methodology of business. You're never going to replace a professional like with AI or like the electric car. It's all bullshit, and it's all smoke and mirrors. You're not going to produce like the Australia. What was it in Australia? They had the cement truck that caught on fire. It was an electric cement truck. Yeah, you just try that with a dozer or a D10 Caterpillar. Okay? It's asinine with what this world is coming to. They don't want to pay anybody, and they think that you're going to power a vehicle with unicorn farts and pixie dust. Okay? You're not going to power your auto parts counter with unicorn farts and pixie dust either. Okay? It adds to the decline of this country. And that's where we're at. So when I'm busting on Jegs and Summit, because I'm going to put this video to their attention, what did happen to the professional auto parts counter person? They're still out there. There's still guys like me. We're willing to work all day. Certain days, like I said, I can't work a full week because I'm single. I'm cleaning up this goddamn mess. This is carnage from this summer. I couldn't clean nothing up. Bad parts, wrong parts, broken parts, missing parts, chicken farts. Good Christ. It's been a summer of carnage, and it's affected my earning capabilities, and I think somewhat it's affected me mentally a little bit. I do get a cringe. I get an attitude now when I walk into an AutoZone and an Advanced Auto Parts store. So if you work at Advanced and some guy like me unloads on you, and maybe you didn't deserve it, you did nothing to the guy, well, you got to think about the guy that was behind that counter before you were there. Maybe it was him that did it. And like I said, I am mentally not prepared to walk in and deal with somebody that is that dumb and that stupid and that uneducated. And they're selling me auto parts for my vehicle or my customer's vehicle. You got to be shitting me. So I hope I've clarified that, and I hope you took a good look at that. I'm going to pass it by the camera one more time, wherever I set it at. Oh, right underneath my nose. I set it on top of my other welder. That little critter right there. Okay? You can make one of those. Easy. Now, I know the lighting's not the best in here, too, this fluorescent lighting, but it's a small home shop, and it really packs a big wallop, and there's a lot of stuff in here, so it kind of crowds me. Not to mention, I got my snowblower already. They said possible 10 inches next week sometime, that the weather... We're going to have these weather periods, kind of like Joe Biden gives you the illusion about, the environment's all your fault. What about all them bombs and rockets going off over there, Joe Biden? Doesn't that do anything to the atmosphere? You know, you really got to think where the mentality of these people and the con jobs that they've been running on you, the American, the consumer, the hardworking person, and now the people that are out of work because of these goons and stooges in the White House. And I will call you a goon and a stooge, Joe Biden. Okay, you're dumber than some of these auto parts people, especially with your lies that you people can see right through you, and half of your goddamn goons and stooges that are testifying right now under them subpoenas. They sit there with a freaking smirk, and every one of them in the Joe Biden administration that I look at, you look at their face, they look like some kind of rodent or weasel. I swear to God, they look just like a rat or a weasel. Anyway, I have to quit. Like I said, it is affecting people. It's affecting people's ability, especially like I said, if you're say a disabled vet or somebody like me that just tries to humble themselves along and try to pay your bills and you can't. There's a reason for that. And like I said, then you see the goons and stooges in the White House. Well, they're the ones that are that are giving the corporations the incentives to hire these people that should be on unemployment, or we're not even going to go there. Okay. I try to keep things professional, and I gave a professional opinion. So the auto parts counter person was usually somebody that worked in the automotive business, in repair business, and then they went to the automotive counter. So at least they could get you the right amp battery for your car, the right amp alternator or starter. There's a lot of things you got to know before you go behind a parts counter. That CRT computer isn't going to. It's not going to. It's not just not going to do it. It's not going to tell you everything you got to know. That's especially when it comes to Ford and Chrysler. GM throughout the years, they kept stuff pretty much uniform. Even calipers. Believe it or not, the old calipers from my Pontiac Le Mans fit on my one son's truck. I could not believe it was the same caliper, but GM did reuse and regurgitate a lot of parts, and a lot of those A and B bodies that they did make, they were all built on the same sort of platform and parts, just a different body basically built on them. But holy crap, what we're going through in this day and age where things and money and time and food are hard enough to come by, and you got to deal with this monkey shit in these auto parts stores. I do feel sorry for the guys, especially Ford. I think it's Ford Boss Me or whatever. I'm paying attention to that guy. I don't whine. I give a professional assessment, and I'm not going to complain about illegal aliens and all this other shit. Okay, that's all the goons and stooges in the White House. That's all their scat party. And you know what? The more Americans that die, just don't try it around here. Don't come after me. That's all I got to tell you. All of you. Every one of you. I'm the wrong hillbilly to screw with. So, hopefully you guys are enjoying my video. And like I said, again, whoever sent me this tripod, hey, fantastic. Like I said, you hit the money. Do I like it? No. I love it, actually. So, that's my professional opinion of what happened to the professional auto parts store. Okay? It's not that they can't get employees. There's a help wanted sign out all over the place. It's not that they can't get people. They can't get people to work for nothing. That's what they can't get. Okay? People want a living wage today. Even the guy that's just starting out, he has his girlfriend, he has an old beat up car. He still deserves to be able to afford a decent transportation and a decent place to live. So that's my humble professional opinion. And hopefully, like I said, I didn't sound too hostile to people. As I said, it's affecting me. Sometimes I don't like the way I sound to myself. And I don't like that in myself. But unfortunately, that's the way with things going south. That's the way it natures somebody. And I hope that people think in with their hearts and their heads, okay? It's time to get your heads out of your ass, Auto Parts America, because people are really down on you. And people like me we're not gonna take the dumb stuff out of your employees. We're gonna jump right down their throats. So I hope they're prepared for it in the future, now and in the future. That's it, guys. That's my message. And it's a special one, I hope, especially for the holidays.